Hello and welcome to Millennium Tech Talk. Today's quick tech is on the Ultra Mobile Credentials setup for visitors. We had in another video done one for cardholders, and visitors are a little bit different animal. And so this video will be dedicated to setting up the UMC, but especially for visitors. So let's go ahead and jump right in. My name is Damon Palmer, by the way, and I will be leading today's presentation. So in order to begin issuing a UMC access, or again, Ultra Mobile credentials to visitors, you'll first need to order and make sure you have the Ultra Mobile credentials, not only licensed on your instance of Ultra, but also that you have the credentials available in your system and licensed and all ready to go. So we're going to start from the very beginning. So the first thing you need to do is send in a PO or a sales order for a group. They come in groups of 100 and send that into customer service up in Millennium. And they will send a confirmation of your order both to you and to the Tech Support Services Department. And the Tech Support Services Department will send you an email confirming that they have already licensed and security tagged your account if you're in the hosted version of Ultra. But for the local server install, you'll need to do a little bit more. So we're going to focus on the local install, but other than the licensing and the security ticket that needs to be applied, everything else is identical, whether you set up a visitor in the cloud-based version or whether you set up a visitor on the local Ultra version. So after you get the email, you will get a site key and you'll get a security ticket, and those will be applied to your version of Ultra. And then you'll want to create a visitor. So you'll go into the visitor module and you'll set up a new visitor, and you will register a credential for them. And then that will send an email to them so that they will get a link to load the app on their phone. And then they will install that app and apply the registration token and set up a PIN and a few other demographic pieces of information, including a PIN code. And then they'll save that, and then they'll be all set to go. And I'll also go over just briefly about access levels and the doors, but those will be covered more in detail in another video. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go live, and I'm going to go ahead and bring us to my desktop, and we will see what this looks like one-to-one. All right. So when you first register, you will get an email from the Tech Support Services, and it'll look something like this. And you'll see that there's a site key and there's also a UMC security ticket. The site keys is big old long number, so you're going to copy that whole thing, and then highlight the whole thing and hit copy. And then you're going to take that over to your instance of Millennium, and you're going to go to Settings, and then to Licensing. And then right here in this site key box, you're going to paste that long number right in here, and then you're going to click Authorize. It'll take a second, and it will say it's been authorized. And if you check down here in the list of your licensed items, you'll see that the Ultra Mobile credential choice now is checked. So you are licensed for Ultra Mobile credentials. The only other thing you need to do is attach the security ticket. So you'll click on Customer Settings, and then the tab for Mobile Credential, and then you'll copy the security ticket that was in the email right here into this field, and then you will hit Save. Once you do that, just hit Close, and you're now licensed and you have the security credential in place. The next thing you want to do is go to Home and then to UMC Doors and Floors. And remember that UMC credentials can be used for any access point door through a DCD, or it can work through the elevator control relays. Any of the floors that are available and you have access to, it can control individual floors as well as doors. So in this case, we have a simple database, and we're just going to give the system access to 2 doors, and we're going to apply that through a 2-door controller that I have here on my display, and we'll test that out a little bit later. And I'm going to add those 2 doors so that they are in the allowed objects box, and I'm going to hit Save. And then once you've pulled the doors in and you've been licensed, the final thing you need to do is go to Diagnostics, click on the Restart Communicators, and just verify that the UMC mobile connection is actually connected. Now here it says connected. If this was to say disconnected, then you would click on the Restart UMC module, and that will restart and reconnect the module so that you're able to issue, and the credentials will work once they reach someone's phone. So close out of that once you have a connected response. And now we're ready to add a visitor to our system. So now we'll come across on the Home tab to Visitors, and we'll click on that. And then here are going to have a new visitor. Let's assume it's going to be me. I'll have to use a little bit of a nom de plume here because we'll just use Greg Palmer. And the employee ID, you need a first name, last name, and at least a employee ID for the record to be valid. And this can be, for example, if you're in a high rise, this could be the suite number of the people that the person's visiting, and that might be very helpful. So for example, Greg Palmer is visiting the people in 501. So that might be a useful way to tag them, but it can be it can be a random number, it can be a license plate number, it can be whatever you want, just so that you have 3 unique fields there. And then we're going to go to the general information tab. And here under company email, we need to put in that visitor's email so that it will be emailed to their phone so they can load the app. So I'm going to put the email in I have for my phone, this phone here for the demonstration purposes. And I'm going to hit save. Well, first I need to put a card number in. So yeah, you need to have the first name, last name, and a unit number or an employee number or whatever you want to put in that field. And then you need the email address under general information. And then finally, you need to issue a fob. So we're eventually going to issue an electronic fob, but we need a fob number, a valid fob number in the system in order to assign a UMC code to it. So we take the next available fob and we just click it in here. And this one is 12294. It is a facility code of 15. And we're going to activate this as of today. So we're going to hit active, which fills in these dates for us. Very convenient, especially in card holders, where it gives you a 2-year window to make this fob active. But in this case, we don't want to give a visitor a 2-year expiring fob. We want to narrow this down considerably. So let's just pretend they're going to be here from Friday to Monday. So from today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, let's just say. So instead of it being 2 years hence, I'm going to make this just 3 days hence. So 25, 26, 27, 28. And then I'm going to drop the year back down to the 21. So basically it's available for 3 days. And then instead of 12 a.m., I'm going to make it 12 p.m. So this is good from Friday at midnight before. So they can come in anytime in the evening or the afternoon, and they can come in and it'll be valid. But at noon on Monday, this is going to stop working. And then we need to tell what kind of a card format is, and our Millennium Basic fobs are we get 26-bit, and they have a facility code of 15. And then the final thing we need to do is to set an access level. And again, we want to limit the access of a visitor. We're not going to give them every single door, although in this case, we only have 2 doors, so it's kind of simple. So we're going to select the visitor common area doors, which is just those 2 doors, click on activate, hit OK, and now we're ready to hit save. So now this visitor has this fob, and they will be available, the fob will be valid until Monday at noon, in which case it will stop working. Now, if you want to reuse these fobs, we're not going to issue them to a visitor, or you can give it to the visitor so they have it as a backup. It's entirely up to you and your policy. But the real idea here is that we want to use the phone as a credential. So how do we get the credential and the phone to be on the same page as a credential? So what we would do is go back to the visitor database. And this time we're going to select the card that we just created. And I'm going to go ahead and pick Greg Palmer that we just created. And we're going to pick this card, which is card 1. And over here, you're going to see a button that says UMC registration. And all we have to do is click that, and it will send an email to the phone or to the email of the person that's a visitor, and then wait for that to hit the phone. So while we're doing that, let me go ahead and move us over to the phone view. And I'll show you how to install the credentials on the phone. All right, so here we are on the phone, the demo phone, and you can see the first email there says UMC portal or Ultra Mobile Credentials portal, and we're going to click on that email. And then you'll see there's a welcome, and then there's a couple of links here, and these links are, the first one is for the Apple Store. So this is for an iOS phone or an Apple phone or an iPhone. And the second link is for Android or a Samsung phone, for example. And those links will take you directly to either the Apple Store or to the Play Store. And then below that, you'll see a registration token, and that will be used to register this phone uniquely with your Ultra software instance. So let's go back and go ahead and load this app. So this is an iPhone. So we're going to pick the first one. And notice this takes me right to my Apple Store. And then I'm going to click the cloud to download the client. And we'll just wait a second while it gears up there. And then we get an open command. So I'm going to hit open. And it says, welcome to UMC. So this is the setup piece of the UMC app. And down at the bottom, you'll see a link for next. Click next. This is the portal address. And again, you don't need to know that. And please don't change it unless tech support asks you to. It's really just there for test purposes. So hit next. And then you'll need to put some demographic information in, first name, last name, email, and the registration token. So click on the first box and go ahead and put your name in there. And then put your email address in there. It's a little slower doing it this way, but at least you can see the phone and exactly what needs to be done. So bear with me. And then the final box is the registration token. And we'll need to get that from the email. So we're going to minimize this app. And then we're going to go to the mail app, come down to the registration token. And I'm just going to press on it to bring up the copy interface. Notice it highlights the entire token. And I'm going to hit copy, minimize the email app. And now we're going to open the UMC client, click in the registration token field, and then click on paste. Now you see that the token has transferred into the box, and now we can hit next. And the final thing you need to do is set up a PIN code, and that way the phone will be secure for if someone steals your phone, they won't be able to open the doors that you have access to. So just create a unique 4-digit PIN that you'll remember, and then click next. And your initialization is complete. So we're going to hit close. And then once the install finishes, it opens up the actual app. So this is the first time. We'll click into the authentication field, and we're going to put in the PIN we just created and click authenticate. And now we're in the app. Now, when you first open the app, it's not going to have any doors in the favorites box because we haven't set up any favorites yet. And that will be convenient because you'll want the doors you use the most to show up as soon as you open the app, and you won't have to go through multiple screens to get to a door that you really want to open. So you can press up here in the upper left, the menu, and you'll see a drop down, and you can see favorites, doors, floors. And remember that the UMC can not only release doors, but also release elevator floors. So when you go onto an elevator, you can hit floor and you can release 501, for example, and then push the button on the elevator and you're off to the races. So let's go ahead and create favorites out of our 2 doors. So first you'll notice that there are no doors listed because this is the first install. Right here in the lower right, you'll see a refresh button, and then it will drop the doors in that we just moved from available to allowed, and now these doors are available for you. So if you select each one, you'll see that there's an add to favorites choice, and then you can just confirm, and you can see the little heart that's placed on there, which tells you that that door will be on the favorites, and then click on the other door or as many doors as you want to be added to favorites, and then confirm them. And then now you can go back to the menu and then click favorites. And now your doors will be in the favorites. So now all you have to do is click the main, let's say the main lobby door, and hit unlock. And you probably can't hear the unlock, but if you, we'll show you here right now. So let me expand out the view here. So we have our fob. And again, you can choose to hold on to this as a reference for the visitor, or you can give it to the visitor as a backup, either way. And then just note that when you present it, there's going to be a relay over here that's going to come on. So I'm going to present the fob, and you'll see the bright red light that just came on and then went off. Now, if I do the same thing over here, I can hit main lobby doors, hit unlock, and then you'll see that same relay come on over here. So we now have our fob program for a visitor for a limited period of time, and we have our phone credential or the UMC credential program for the same doors that the fob is able to open, and you can do it right from your phone. So that's how you would set up a UMC credential and also a visitor, and that's all there is to it. So one last thing, I've been asked to show you something else. So let me go back to our desktop. And introduce you to the new end user portal. Now the end user portal is for end users. So if you are listening to this and you're a dealer or distributor, then this would be for your end users. Excuse me. And if you're an end user and you use the Millennium day in and day out at your particular site, then by registering for the end user portal, you'll be able to get a lot of key information like licensing and when SMAs or subscriptions run out or when they expire. If there's any pending general maintenance updates that are going to happen in the next week or two, you'll get notice ahead of time. So you'll be forewarned that, the system might be down for 10 minutes on Sunday night at, 11 p.m. or something like that. And there'll also be some other things that'll be helpful features to you. And we do regular 0.1, 0.2 updates during the year. When we go between, unit version 5 and let's say version 6, we'll have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. So you'll get all that information throughout the year by registering for the end user portal. So basically just fill out this form, check the box, and again, you'll only receive those early warning preventative maintenance things and any large and enhanced updates for features or for version updates through by checking that checkbox. And that will put you on our radar for sending you that information. You will get a couple of sales things along the way just to remind you that we do have a lot of other features and things, but it's key to be able to do to be forewarned. And also, by the way, you can send in a service request to have someone look at your software, or you can send Millennium feedback, and that also will give you an opportunity through the end user portal. So fill out the information, check the box, go ahead and click the registration button, and that will send an email out to you. And let me give you an idea of what that looks like. And then you'll get an email like this with a link in it, and then just click on the link. And that will open the end user portal. And then you just right here at the top, this just verifies your information. But right here at the top, you'll see the home screen. And this will bring you to your sites. Just click on sites. And here you will see who your dealer is, when your SMA expires, what the latest version of the software might be, release notes and things like that. Here's a place to put in your requests for software updates or any general feedback. And then at the bottom, it also gives you information about what you're licensed for and some things that you could be licensed for, both for software, also for example, CCTV integration or some other integrations with hardware. So it's a very useful, very informative, something I think that you'll find to be very interesting and helpful in your management of your particular project. So again, we thank you for your attention, and I hope that this has been helpful. And if you have any questions beyond today's video, please contact support at mgiaccess.com, and they will be glad to answer any further questions. Thank you for your attention, and from everyone at Millennium, we hope you have a great day. Take care.